Hi guys, as for the requirement for Data 620 class, Project 1, which was to identify and load a network dataset that has some categorical information available for each node. For this assignment, the data that I chose to work with was the City of Chicago Crime Information Database spanning from the years 2001 to present. How did I get here? I looked around, tried to find some backup of a network dataset that had categorical information. I spent a long time looking for it and I was unsuccessful. So at the end, I decided to, hey, why not just get a CSV dump of some information and try to create a relationship and analyze it and see exactly some of the information or some of the interesting things that I can find out. And one of the data as I was searching that sparked my interest was the City of Chicago's data dump from 2001 to present. This dump, what it captures is the date, the offense occurred, the block, and most of the fields that were important to me was the primary type, which talks about whether if it's theft, criminal damage, and so forth, and a little description about the crime and the location. Now, for this, after looking through this CSV, I decided to centralize the project around building a graph surrounding the association between the type of crime. An example of those were theft, narcotics, and so forth, and the type of location, which is street, gas station, schools, etc., that the crimes occurring. So, what I envisioned was grafting. Let's say, for example, there was a theft on street A, and I wanted to create a relationship with the location. Let's say if it was defined as a street or a gas station, a school, and etc. And the type of offense that occurred was the edge, the relationship between the streets. So at the end of this, eventually, what I thought I would have been able to achieve was, let's say, for example, when I build the graph, I found that most of, let's say, violent crimes occurred around streets or a gas station, which is, a little bit vague and out there, but is what I managed to get together in the time that I had. So this is the notebook. What I was able to do, I read in the CSV. I limited to about 500 rows because the dataset initially has 6 million rows, and when I worked with that, I had some serious issues with network X crashing. So I read in the CSV. This is a snapshot of the CSV. Here it is. Just like what I showed you on the side, the primary type, the location, description, and so forth. I did a little bit of cleaning up, give it user-friendly column names that I can use back later on to reference each column. I then used pandas to create a data frame that isolated the locations, the unique locations from within the CSV. I would then go ahead to use this information to create the nodes. Then later on, what I did, I sliced the similar CSV using pandas, and what I basically created was the crime, the location it happened, and the type. And what I did was associate a unique ID from the location snapshot that I did of the data. And the reason why I did this is because later on I would use this information to help create the node, the relationship between each node. Just slice. Okay. At this point now, the next thing that I needed to, after I had the listing of nodes, which is actually the locations, the description of each crime and the case number and the block and so forth, I went ahead to create a edge list, which is the crime ID, the unique ID for each crime, and the location it would have occurred in, and the relationship type being the primary type, if it's narcotics, battery, assault, and so forth. from this information, the next step that I will do is to create the graph, because now that I have a listing of nodes in a data frame, in a pandas data frame, and now I have a data frame of edges or relationships. So I went ahead, created the network X graph, iterated through the nodes, sorry, not the nodes, the listing of each case, created the nodes, created the location nodes from the slice that I took of the location, and I created the relationship or the edges between the crime information and the location nodes using the data frame, the edges data frame that I created before. So this bit of code here, what it does is iterates and basically creates the relationship for each node. Sorry. Then after this, with the use of PyPlot, I was able to graph the database, to draw the database and the network, and this is what it looks like. From looking at it, eyeballing it, you can see that there's a lot of connections, which is helpful for when I go forward and do my centrality test. Okay, so here I just ran a few tests, a few analysis on the network. One of them was the degree of centrality. So I went ahead, I iterated through the graph, ran the degree function from network X, got the information, and this little bit of code is just to iterate through the listing and get the location names. So it's a little bit friendly so you don't see the ID. And from what I saw, the one here with the highest degree of centrality was streets. I'm kind of tempted to say that based on this here, you can say that most of the crimes that occurred are related to streets. So I can say that most of them occurred at a street location. The eigenvector centrality for each node, when I created it, similarly, the results saying that the streets had, well, not the street actually. Yes, the street had the highest value as well for the eigenvector centrality for each node. Also, similarly, when I compared against each categorical group, I got similar results, and that's the end of my project. I wanted to spend a little bit more time doing a little bit more analysis on the graph itself, maybe even trying to see if other attributes of the original CSV may produce a better graph for analyzing, but this is as far as I got. And that's it for my presentation, guys. Thank you for your time.